Hi, everybody. I'm Melinda Gallant, and I want to welcome you to another Cape Conversation. Ooh, this is a good one. It's all about theater in the schools, and there's a great show coming up at Upper Cape Tech. So come along. Let's have another Cape Conversations. Well, everybody, I am here today talking with a wonderful person. His name is Bobby Genereau, and he is with the Upper Cape Tech School, and he is a teacher, and he's a theater teacher in a tech school. Oh my God, I can't imagine. Bobby, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, Bobby, first of all, what do you teach when you teach?
I'm an English teacher. I teach all grade levels.
So that which is?
9 through 12.
Okay.
Yeah. And because we're a tech school, we see them every other week. So I'll do freshmen and juniors one week, and then the seniors and sophomores will be in shop. And then we flip. And the next week I'll have sophomores and seniors.
I see.
Yeah.
So when you think of a tech school, you don't think of English. You don't think of math, probably. You just think of like doing things with your hands. But that's not true, is it?
It's not. And a lot of our kids do come because they love the vocational side of education. I think vocational education is amazing. Our kids like to learn hands-on, and that kind of also rolls over into our academic classes. You'll find our academic classes aren't like your traditional comprehensive classes. We're trying to do exciting things and integrating technology and keeping our kids, which are strong hands-on learners, learning that way.
Right.
But when you think about technical education, math is a huge part if you're a carpenter or an electrician.
It sure is.
Right? And
you cut that lumber short, you're in big trouble.
And if you're going to start your own business, you need to know how to communicate with people, and you need to know how to write emails, so English becomes a huge part of it too. So, we're giving them a well-balanced education, and I think, some of the best education around.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, you've got something coming up, though, that's pretty special.
We do. One thing that people don't think of when they think of a tech school is a theater program. But I'm going to argue that, being in a tech school is the best place to have a theater program.
Sure.
Because I lean heavily on my shops for building sets.
Wait, you actually have sets that can get done?
Yes, I have sets that can get done. I have a wonderful carpentry shop.
That's right.
And one of our carpentry instructors, Joe Zajac, his son Dan is a local actor as well. So he's a big supporter of theater. So he helps out a lot. And this year, we also are leaning heavily on our culinary department because we're doing a dinner theater.
Oh, how fun.
Yes. We have a fully functioning restaurant in the school.
Yeah, now it's open during the week.
It is. Yeah, you can go there and have lunch.
Yeah.
And so I've done some dinner theaters in the past. We did one last year. We did a mystery dinner theater called Cafe Murder. It went exceptionally well. And they, my superintendent came and said, hey, I'd like to see those continue. That did pretty well. I don't know where the idea came from. I was thinking around what I should do for dinner theater.
Sure.
And I had this flash of seeing the ghost of Christmas Present leading Scrooge around the dining room. And I said, I'm going to do a Christmas Carol as dinner theater.
Perfect.
So I went to our chef, Joe Elia, and I said, Joe, I need the most Christmassy as possible menu that you can come up with.
Right.
He knocks it out of the park completely. We start selling tickets kind of with a soft opening because last year my tickets sold out so fast. I had parents of my kids that were in the show that couldn't get tickets. By mid-October, I was sold out.
Wow.
And I went to Joe and I said, Joe, we're not even going to make the papers on this. And Joe said, well, years ago, Falmouth Theater Guild used to come in here and do dinner theater, and we did it in the cafeteria. We'd do 200 people a night. He goes, let's move it to the cafeteria.
So where was it before?
It was in the Canalside Dining Room.
Oh my gosh, that's pretty small.
Right, so 60 people a night. Yeah, right, 60 people a night. So now we're going to take out all the cafeteria tables, put in nice tables with linen.
Yeah.
We're going to do 200 people a night. Joe's like, yep, I'll serve 200 people a night.
Wow.
I'm like, Joe, okay, you want to do it? Let's do it.
Do the students become servers?
They are, yeah. So not my cast members, but we're actually going to have the culinary students will work the event. They'll help Joe in the kitchen preparing the food. So it's really a wonderful experience for our students to, work at a high level function like this. And they do an amazing job. If you've ever been into the Canalside Dining Room, they're fantastic. Our kids do a great job. But to do events like this just gives them another aspect of the career field, working in
Sure.
culinary.
Sure. So tell me, how long have you been in rehearsals?
We started in October. It gets a little crazy because I also coach the cross country team.
Oh,
And so I have to do practices, in the right after school, and then we stay and do rehearsals afterwards. So they're very long days. But now that cross country just ended yesterday was our league meet, so we're going back to just after school. But we've been rehearsing for I'd say a few weeks now. But now we're really going to ramp it up because our show dates are coming up in December.
and who's in it? Are they every class in it?
Yeah, I've got freshmen. I got this huge influx of really talented freshmen this year.
Nice.
And then kids that have been with me for, 4 years. So I've got seniors through freshmen. My philosophy really is I'm not one of those like you're a senior, you're going to get the role.
Yeah.
I'm putting the best kid in the best role where they're going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm lucky that I have so many talented kids, and I try to do shows that are going to, showcase all of their talents. We're doing a real traditional production of A Christmas Carol.
Oh, nice.
And the script that I chose actually has a lot of traditional Christmas carols in it.
Oh, so everybody else sing along?
Yeah, there's going to be singing. So we're going to have carolers singing traditional Christmas songs.
Great.
And then, like I said, the menu is very, traditional Christmas, traditional
Right.
English Christmas.
Right.
And so it's just going to feel like a really traditional Christmas special.
So, so theater and tech kids,
Yes.
does this help them? I mean, do you think it helps them getting out in front of people and having confidence? I mean, I've always thought that theater taught kids how to have confidence.
Yes.
Whether they ever did anything with it or not, whether they were ever any good at it or not, it still gave them the confidence to be able to stand up in front of a group, and which is so important. Do you think it helps that?
I think it does. There's a lot to that question.
Yeah.
So first of all, I'm also a coach, like I said.
Yeah.
Not every kid plays sports.
Right.
There are kids that are super passionate about the arts.
Right.
Whether they want to paint sets, they build things, they want to be on stage, they want to sing, they want to dance. We're giving them all that opportunity. For those kids that want to do something else. I mean, we have wonderful athletic programs at Upper Cape Tech, but I think we've got a wonderful theater department too that gives those other kids, and I've got a lot of kids too that play sports that are also in drama, right? So we're giving them those opportunities. But think for a second about my carpentry kids building sets. Maybe they didn't know that was a career path that they could go down, right?
Sure.
They think of, we're siding houses and we're doing that. But that's a place where they could get a job. They could work, in a union shop building sets on Broadway.
Right.
It's
Well, that's true.
Right.
That's very true.
Our electricians that are helping, with the lights. That's just another career field.
Do you teach them electrical tech? I mean, that part of it?
We have an electrical shop. And so I usually bring them in. It's just for safety, sake, to come and help with the lights.
Yeah.
But
But do they operate?
we do have. I have a girl that for 4 years now. She's my light tech.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she's training the next generation now.
That's
But she
great.
loves operating the light board, and she does a fantastic job at it.
That's great.
She doesn't want to be on stage. That's not her thing. But she
Boy,
loves.
they're hard to find.
Yeah, but she just loves to run that light board.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, they should know that every theater company between here and Provincetown are looking for lighting techs and set people all the time.
Right.
Here in Sandwich, we just started with the Sandwich Arts Alliance, and I was hard pressed. I mean, I found one, and we actually pay our tech people. Most people in theater, community theater, they don't necessarily pay, or they don't pay well. It's
Yeah.
a stipend. But we actually pay our tech people. But to find a stage manager who then had to end up operating slides for a projector,
Yes.
and she did great. She did wonderful, and she's older. She's in her mid-20s, and she did a wonderful job, and I was grateful to have her. But I thought to myself, gee, is it, where else could I find somebody like that? That would be wonderful for your kids to know. If they have any interest, they should contact.
I will
the
definitely
theater.
Send some kids your way.
Okay, because seriously.
Yeah, my stage manager, she's been with me for 3 years. She was a student in my class, and I could tell that she was a type A personality right away.
That's what you got to have.
And she was also very creative. And I said, Molly, I think you belong in the drama club. And she's been my stage manager ever since.
my
And
gosh.
she's a senior this year, and I'm going to miss her terribly because she runs
Where's she
everything.
Go to college?
She is also in the culinary department, so I believe she's looking at Johnson and Wales.
Yeah.
But in the summer times, she might look into because there is a vibrant theater scene on the Cape.
There sure is.
And so that might be something that she would certainly.
Well, College Light Opera for one.
Right.
And, there are others as well.
Yes.
So, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, so they take those skills and they bring them to you, and then what do they do with the skills they learn from you? They take it back out into the real world?
Well, that's the hope, right? Is that, they're going to go out and be hugely successful.
Yeah.
And like you said, building the confidence, especially for high school students, is so important.
Yeah.
The fact that they can go out there and have conversations with people, look people in the eye, shake their hand, that's so huge in the business world. And, being on stage and you and I both know being on stage in front of hundreds of people builds that confidence. You can get through that. You can get through anything.
Right. So what are the dates for this show?
So our shows are December 15th, 16th, and 17th. So a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Our Friday and Saturday shows are at 7 p.m. So it's a 7 p.m. dinner. Our Sunday show's an early dinner at 4 p.m. It's the same menu throughout. It's a 4-course dinner. So we're starting with a butternut apple soup.
Oh, good.
With like a sage cream in it.
Yeah.
And then there's a salad, and it's got all kinds of candied pears, pecans, Havarti cheese. We have 3 entree choices to choose from. There's beef Wellington, roasted duck breast, and then there's I know, right? and then a spinach ricotta lasagna.
For the vegetarians.
For our vegetarians, yes.
Yes.
And then there's a sticky toffee pudding with vanilla ice cream for dessert.
Oh, perfect. Oh, toffee pudding.
Yes.
So like figgy pudding.
Yeah, like you're right. It's traditional English, right? This is going to be a beautiful show and a beautiful meal.
Oh, that's great. That's wonderful. So I have to tell you something, though. I've already bought tickets.
You have?
I've bought tickets. I have a friend who bought tickets and another friend who bought tickets, and we're all going together on the first Friday.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Opening night. So if you peak.
Yes.
They always say a show peaks somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Well, peak on the first night.
Peak on the first night. Okay. I'm hoping we just continue to peak.
That would be great.
Yeah.
So how much help do you get from parents?
I do get a lot of help from parents. I actually have one of my new freshmen. Mom's been emailing me. Mom has been super involved in Bourne Middle School and other productions. And she's also a professional photographer. So she just offered to come in and take headshots and dress rehearsal. Nice. I'm like, come on down. So I love when parents get involved.
Yeah, sure.
I have other parents that will help me. This one you have to buy tickets ahead of time. But on my other shows, when you can buy tickets at the door, I have parents that'll come in and work the doors for me, work the concession stands. My lighting girl there, Dad, so we usually when we do our musical, we do a afternoon and an evening show, and the kids just stay there. And Dad comes in with pizzas and chicken wings, and so every year he throws out a spread for the kids. So we get a lot of parental involvement.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So how many shows have you? How long have you been there?
So this is my 13th year at Upper Cape.
Golly,
I know.
How long have I known you?
When was Charlie Brown?
Charlie Brown was 10 years ago.
Oh my goodness!
No, wait, was that 10 years? No, maybe 8 years.
Maybe 8 years ago. Okay. And I started the drama club about 11 years ago.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I was coaching sports, and he was my principal at the time, the superintendent. Now he came to me and said, "Hey." We really want to start the drama program again. And he saw that I was doing shows, in the local community. He's like, would you be interested in doing that? And I said, yeah, I think that'd be a great idea. And so I had talked to a bunch of people that had been involved prior to the custodians, my best friends.
Trust me, the custodians run the schools.
Right. So, and the custodians said that what they were doing before was they were only doing Shakespeare shows. Now, I'm an English teacher, and I've been in a Shakespearean troupe, and I love Shakespeare. But they said the kids were only getting 4 and 5 people in the audience, and that's just not fair, right? Yeah. If they're working that hard, they should be performing.
Well, it's not bad to do a little Shakespeare, but then you do something that's popular.
Right. Well, we actually did the complete works of William Shakespeare abridged last year.
Yeah, but that's funny.
That is funny, and we got a big crowd. But so I said, well, I got to start growing the audience first, right? The kids have to perform for an audience. So when I took it over, I said the easiest way to do this is family theater. So we started out with a lot of family-friendly shows. We did Alice in Wonderland was our first, and then we did Pinocchio, and then we started doing musicals.
Wow.
We did the first musical ever at the school, and so we did musicals, and then we started the dinner theaters.
Well, there was somebody a long time ago that did theater there. A woman, I can't remember her name, and she did theater. I thought she did musicals, and she might not have, but she did a lot of theater there.
Right.
I don't know
Yeah, there was a woman that was doing it before me, but she was the Shakespeare woman.
Oh, okay, no,
yeah,
somebody before
someone
that.
before that. Okay.
Yeah.
So once we got the musicals going, then we started going to the Massachusetts Educational Theater Guild competitions.
Oh, yeah.
The high school festival.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun, and the kids were getting a lot of great experience.
What did the other schools think? Do other tech schools do this?
There are some other tech schools.
I wouldn't say many. I don't know
there's
why.
not a lot. You see it more at the comprehensive schools.
Yeah.
And again, I love it because of, we have the restaurant and we have carpentry and all that. Some of the downfalls of a tech school is when I go to do a musical, a comprehensive school is going to have a choir teacher or a music teacher,
And you don't.
and I don't.
Yeah.
I can do some things, but I'm not a music director.
Right.
So
you
sometimes
bring
I
somebody
bring
in.
somebody in from the
Sure,
community, and
sure.
luckily I know a lot of people in the community theater world, so I've been able to bring some wonderful people in to help out.
Oh, that's good.
But it is nice when you have like the built-in
Yeah, of
music
course,
teacher
of
in
course.
the school.
So what's your next production when this one's done?
So this is our dinner theater, and then our spring musical is Bring It On. It's based on the Cheerleader movie with Kirsten
sure.
Dunst. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And so the music was actually written by Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so if you listen to the soundtrack and you're familiar with In the Heights or
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Hamilton,
Right, you hear it.
you listen to this for 2 seconds and you're like, oh yeah, that's a Lin-Manuel Miranda show.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun, upbeat music, ton of dance numbers.
Now, will you use canned music, or do you bring in a?
So unfortunately, because again, I don't have the person
Right, you don't bring in a
I have to
pianist or
bring in, so I have to do the canned music for now. It's my dream to have a music director that's also an accompanist that I can bring in a band,
Sure.
and because I think the kids should be able to sing in front of live music.
I think it's harder to sing to canned music.
It is. You have to be perfect.
You
right?
have to be perfect.
I just did Rock of Ages down at Little Theater in Fall River, and,
Oh, yeah.
and the band was right on stage with us.
Oh, yeah.
And they are so good at adapting. If you
Yeah.
miss where you're supposed to come in,
Yeah.
and
They
can't
follow the
yeah,
singers.
right.
The singers don't follow
Right,
them.
and the
necessarily.
canned music is unforgiving. So
Yeah,
so the kids they work really hard to be on.
Oh, yeah.
But
I would think.
but I'd
Now,
love
how
for them
big is this cast?
for Christmas Carol.
Yeah, Christmas Carol.
It's a pretty good sized cast. I think I have 17 kids in the cast.
Wow.
Not including, my tech kids.
Yeah.
So, but, and then of those 17, they're playing multiple roles too.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. So where did you find it? Where did you find this adaptation of A Christmas Carol?
I was looking online,
Yeah.
and this it came out in like 1968, so it's older than I am. And,
but not as old as I am.
but that makes it in the public domain. So
There
I'm
we
like,
go.
so
That sounds like a good one.
yeah. So what really appealed to me was it was written for to be really minimal on stage.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, well, at first I was doing it in the Canalside Dining Room. So I'm like, yeah, I want to keep it really minimal.
Right.
And so that's appealed to me. But then when I looked into it and saw all the spots for traditional Christmas carols, I'm like, this is perfect because now I can have the kids singing as well.
Right.
And I just think it's going to be a really beautiful show.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful. Now, do they wear costumes? And all
Yeah.
that?
So Friday is costume day. We're measuring and we're going to be renting the costumes.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, but I want them to look beautiful because I
Yeah.
think without the set, being
Yeah.
overwhelming, I think the costumes are what are really going to make the show.
Sure.
And
Is
so,
there a stage in that? Are you using a stage?
so my cafeteria does have a stage.
I'm
That's
trying to think.
Right.
I've been in the building,
Yes.
obviously,
Yeah.
and I've been in the canal side, and I think I've been in the cafeteria
Yeah.
before for meetings. Or
right. The
something.
cafeteria, that's where the stage is.
Okay, yeah.
So now I get to utilize the stage.
It's not real tall, though, is it? Or
No,
is
it's a stage. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really
I mean, it's
small.
not huge. It's not
Yeah.
a big stage like
Yeah.
you would see at Sandwich.
Yeah.
But it's a good size stage.
Yeah.
Probably about the size of Sandwich Town Hall when we did
Okay.
Charlie Brown. It's
Yeah.
probably about that size.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And but you're going to have the kids everywhere. It sounds like.
Yeah, they're going to be down amongst
Yeah.
the audience,
Nice.
and so we're going to make the audience feel like part of Fezziwig's party.
Oh, fun.
Right? Dancers are going to come out and do like a beautiful dance through there, and then we'll
Yeah.
serve dessert as
Oh,
part of the
fun.
party. Yeah, so
Fun. fun. So do you get the dinner prior to the show?
Yeah,
or
so they'll
during
have
the
their,
show?
their dinner. They'll have their first 3 courses.
Uh-huh.
And as we're clearing, their main entree,
Right.
the show will start.
Okay.
And then as soon as, the ghost of Christmas past takes Scrooge back into the past to Fezziwig's party,
Yeah.
That's when dessert will
comes
kick in.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And then you have the traditional ending for Scrooge. Right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, and obviously you really hate doing this.
No, I love doing it.
You just have no enthusiasm
Right.
about
No,
it.
I really do love it. The kids are amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
they work so hard. They're so
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
And it's just great to see them do, everybody has a niche and they find it,
Yeah.
whether it's my stage manager who just loves running stuff, or I've got my actors, my
And
singers, my
can
dancers.
order people around very well.
She's very good at it.
in a nice way.
In a nice way. She's wonderful. And the
Yeah.
kids love her to death. And then, the kids that want to work tech, like my lighting girl that's been doing it for 4 years, they're just fantastic kids.
That's great.
I mean, we're very lucky at the school in general. Like all our kids are just great. Like,
Well, it sounds like you have support of the administration.
oh, we do. Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing.
Right.
If it was only about the sports, where there are schools where it's only about the sports.
Yeah, and sports are a big thing at Upper Cape. But
Right.
my superintendent, Roger Forget, is a huge musical fan. He loves Broadway musicals.
Oh my gosh. That's
So
great.
when I told him I wanted to bring a musical there, he was all on it.
Oh,
So
that's great.
But then when we got in the superintendent blog over the dinner theater, he's like, "Hey, give me another one of those dinner theaters."
Yeah.
So
Sure.
so we're really happy with the productions we're doing, and the kids are having a blast.
Well, what's kind of fun for my 2 friends and myself to go is, we have nothing to do with the school. My kids went to Sandwich High School.
Right.
Which was an okay thing. However, for us, we were like, oh my gosh, this just sounds like fun, and it's kids, and it's good. They're going to have energy, and it'll be a fun time.
Yeah.
And that's why we decided to do it. It was kind of like, I think I said, oh, you put it up. I think it was on Facebook.
Right.
And I texted the other 2 people, and I said, oh my gosh, I think I want to do this. I said, how about you guys? So they read it and they go, we're in.
Yeah.
It was like took 2 seconds because they wanted to come.
It's going to be super fun. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be a Christmas Carol like you've never seen, in the fact that it's dinner theater.
Well, yeah.
Right. And so that I think is kind of like the unique twist on
Yeah.
this. But you're going to get a very traditional show with very traditional music. But when you think of dinner theater, and I looked this up before I came on, there's 2 local dinner theaters that are running right now.
Yep.
One was $65. The other was $105.
Oh, yeah, they're expensive.
And we're doing this 4-course dinner plus the show for $50.
I'm having the beef Wellington.
You're having the beef Wellington,
So you
yeah.
tell them to make it really good.
They will. So for $50, you're getting that great meal
Sure.
and the show.
That's wonderful.
I think it's a steal.
Yeah, it is. It really is
Yeah.
a steal. I mean, it's very reasonable, that's for sure. Well, and I've done dinner theaters before, and usually, usually you come out in the beginning, and then you have the appetite or the salad, and then the salad goes away, and you do something else, and then
Yeah.
you have they serve the main course, and you do something else after that, and then the person dies, and then they serve
Yes.
dessert. But this is just a little bit different twist on that.
That's
That's kind of cool.
Right. We want people to enjoy the fellowship of
Yeah.
their fellow diners, because
Yeah.
you may come with a group, but the tables seat 8. So you may
Yeah.
be with people you don't know.
Right.
And it's around the holidays. It's a good chance to spread some
Sure.
Christmas joy and
Sure,
cheer with each
sure,
other.
Sure.
And it's a lot of fun, and
Yeah.
everybody's there to support the kids.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Absolutely.
and we've had a lot of people that aren't connected with the school come because they see it and they just think it sounds like an amazing time.
Yeah,
So,
a good time.
right. And
Yeah.
I think, it's always great when people see what we're doing, because I can't tell you the number of times people go, "You've got drama club at a tech school?"
Well,
Yes.
see, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Schools
Yeah.
in general, and this is my a personal opinion out there, people, that they do a terrible time of PR about themselves. They're very insulated. You go to school in a building,
Yeah.
you see the same people all the time, you see the parents. Those are your outside fingers, but otherwise, you don't get out to the regular population, people who don't have kids in school anymore.
Right.
And truthfully, that's the best thing you can do, because that's the ones who want to spend the money in the town where you are. Now, our town gives money towards Upper Cape Tech.
Correct. You're one of our sending towns. Yes.
Right. And which is wonderful. We should be doing that. But if my kid, my youngest kid who ended up at Johnson and Wales went to Sandwich, and now I think back, he probably should have gone to Upper Cape Tech, and he probably would have, maybe found same path
Right.
in a different way.
Sure.
But he never had nobody ever came to him and said, hey, why don't you do this show? Do you go out and solicit kids, or how do you do this?
I wish that I could. It's a lot of the schools, they're trying to keep their school population.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I meant within your school
Oh, within
walls.
school. Oh, in the school walls.
Yeah, do you say, hey, why don't you come out and try this?
Of course I do. Yeah, I see
can
kids
just hear
all
you.
the time.
I bet you.
I just did it yesterday. I was walking down the stairs, and there was a kid I had been thinking of, and he happened to be walking up the stairs, and I'm like, Dom, can you sing? And he goes, yeah, kind of. I go, can you dance? He goes, well, yeah. I go, we need to talk. So
I love it.
So, all the time. And like I said, Molly, my stage manager, she was just in my class, and I saw her, and I said, Molly, this is where you belong.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
So, so in the spring, you have, not in the height, what's it called again?
Bring It On.
Bring It On.
Yes.
Okay, it's about the cheerleaders.
It's the cheerleading, yes.
Okay. And do you do a series play, or do you do just 2 plays a year?
Well, last year we did 3 plays, and that was a first.
Yeah.
So I am a sometimes softball coach, and I may be coaching this year. So if I coach in the spring, it'll just be 2 shows.
Right.
If I'm not coaching, then
You might do a straight show.
I might do a straight show, or we might do a comedy. I've always, I have a fondness for The Foreigner. I was in that, and I think that would be a lot of fun for the kids to do.
Wait, where were you in that?
Buzzards Play Production.
I knew
with
I
PJ.
saw you.
Yes.
I saw you in that. I knew that.
Yep.
I knew I saw you in that with PJ.
With
McKay?
yeah.
Yeah, I saw you in that. And you were in 2 of my shows,
Yes.
Charlie Brown.
And Christmas Shorts.
And Christmas Shorts. Yes. The one that they thought wouldn't sell any tickets.
And we sold out every show.
night.
Yeah. But it was such a funny show.
It was such a funny show. A little irreverent.
Yes.
But, however, very funny. Very, very funny. And so I know where do you live on the other side of the bridge?
I
right?
do. I'm in Plymouth.
You're in Plymouth.
Yes.
Right. And you're married to a lovely, lovely lady.
Yeah, my wife Melissa and my daughter Aurora that
Yes.
allow me to do all these crazy things.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful
Well,
to
you
have
run
both of them.
marathons.
Yeah, well, my knees are going, but but I've got 6 of them under my belt.
Good for you.
Yeah. The last one was the Dopey Challenge in Disney World, where I
Oh, my
ran
gosh.
all the races.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so it's but I now do it with coaching.
Yeah.
I'm coaching the cross country team, and,
Nice.
and I love it. Trying to pass on that experience. So,
Sure,
yeah.
what you know.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I mean, that's the whole idea.
That's right.
And Melissa, what does she do?
Melissa works for DCF. She's a
That's
social.
right.
Yeah.
She's a social.
And she does some private practice stuff.
Right.
Therapy.
Yeah. And how old's your daughter now?
She's 17.
Oh, how did that happen?
I don't know. She's going to be 18 in January.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I met her just a few years
I
ago.
know.
And she was just a kid.
Yep. She's still just a kid, but she's getting bigger.
Well, she's beautiful.
She's a beautiful girl. Yeah. She's on the Plymouth North gymnastics team.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And their season's about to start in
Oh
December.
wow, good
so,
for her.
Yeah.
And is she going to go to college? She's going to be what, a junior? Or
She's a junior right now, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Lovely.
it's funny because we're getting all the flyers from colleges.
Oh, yeah.
So she's collecting them all and,
Yeah.
and looking at them.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Dean College is having an open house on Veterans Day.
Oh wow.
And we're both off. So I
Yeah.
promised her we would go up and just kind of see the scene and see what
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah. I have I've had the gamut of kids and grandkids that go places. My oldest went to oh my God, Hanover, New Hampshire, Dartmouth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, quite
Yeah,
fancy.
right.
Quite fancy. Very expensive. Quite fancy.
Yeah.
But he did get his master's there too at the same time.
Okay.
So it was a good thing.
Good.
Right. And he's out working in the real world now, so he can pay his bills. But my granddaughter is at Plymouth State. What? I've never been there. Knew nothing about Plymouth State,
Right.
New Hampshire.
Yep.
It is the most adorable town, and the campus kind of sits here, and the town is kind of here, and there's a river in between. There's a beautiful bridge, but it's all closed. It's just cute.
Right.
It's just really, I can't imagine when it snows there. It's probably like a postcard. I
Yeah.
mean, it'd be gorgeous.
Aurora did get a thing from them
yeah,
too,
well,
right?
tell her to look at.
Well, it's
that.
funny because my sister-in-law lives in New Hampshire.
Oh, yeah?
So we were looking on maps, but
Yeah,
she's
how
like an
about-
hour and 17 minutes away.
Well, but close enough if she needed something.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's the thing. Well, it was funny because my daughter bought a ski house up there they rent out.
Yeah.
But it's only It's 15 minutes from the campus.
Oh, okay.
So my granddaughter looked at her aunt and said, "So, Aunt Tess, we just went up there and we all went out to dinner." And she said, maybe if it's not rented sometime, maybe I can come over with some of my friends. And my daughter went, "Well, we'll see." We'll see.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I was just so surprised, totally surprised. My kids went to UMass and BU, so totally different experiences to a small school. But boy, for a small school, and plus they have everything.
Right.
You could.
Yeah. Aurora was looking at schools and like they said, class size of about 16. And she was like, "Oh, I like that." She likes the idea of that smaller class size.
Of course she does. So if I were going to try to sell somebody to come to the show, why should I come?
Why should you come? Well, first of all, we want to support the arts in our schools, right?
Right.
Your support keeps these programs running.
Great.
But secondly, these kids are amazing, and you're going to be blown away. If you love Christmas, it's like you can't get a better story than A Christmas Carol. The music is beautiful. The food is fantastic. Chef Joe is an amazing chef.
Right.
Our culinary kids are fantastic. So you're really going to be supporting a school that is, you're one of our sending towns.
Right.
And so, we do have Sandwich Kids in this production. So you'll be coming and supporting Sandwich Kids.
That's great.
So it's just a great opportunity to have a night out, have a great meal, have great fellowship around the holidays.
Right.
And, to support the arts in our schools.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I can't imagine having a better director than you.
No, thank you.
For sure. For sure. Unless it was me.
That's right. I'm biased.
But it's, that is absolutely wonderful. It sounds like a wonderful thing. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. So to get tickets.
Oh, to get tickets, yes.
So we are using a ticketing website called On the Stage, but the URL is way too long for me to give on a community television program.
Well, they'll just print it underneath you.
Oh, that's great. Okay, perfect. Also, you can go on the Upper Cape Tech website, and there's a link right there on the front page.
So just go to Upper Cape.
UpperCapeTech.com, and it's right there. Click on the link. It'll take you out to the ticketing website. Because, the nature of the show, we do have to have tickets bought ahead of time.
Of course.
To prepare the food.
Of course.
This is, our Bring It On, you can buy tickets at the door if you wish, but the website will be up as well.
Where will that be held? In the cafeteria?
In the cafeteria on that stage, yeah.
Right, but it'll be more concert-style seating.
Yes, it'll be concert-style seating, whereas we'll have beautiful tables with linens all set up throughout. Christmassy, yeah. You're not going to be sitting on like the kids' tables, the cafeteria tables.
That might be interesting for me.
Right.
For sure.
But you have nice tables. And then our art club might come in and help us decorate too, and with centerpieces and decorations around the hall. Yeah, we want to make it really feel, like Christmas.
So how do you get in there? Do you go through the other restaurant first?
No, so you just come in through the main door. And then you'll come down, and we call it the T. There's a place where the building goes like this. Yeah. You take a right and down to the cafeteria. We'll have signage leading everybody down there. Yep.
Great. Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I thank you for being here.
I thank you for having me.
Okay, so uppercapetech.com, click on the link.
Click on the link for tickets.
And the dates are again?
December 15th through the 17th. 15th and 16th is a 7 p.m. show. The Sunday show is 4 p.m.
4 p.m.
4 p.m.
Got it. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Melinda. Thank you so much. You too.
Wow. Bobby Genereau, English teacher at Upper Cape Tech, and also a theater director there, bringing the great show, A Christmas Carol, to their dinner theater in December. How fun. So buy tickets. You can buy them at uppercapetech.com. Just click on the button for tickets, and you will see a wonderful show, have a great meal, and have loads of fun. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time on another Cape Conversations.